Hello, dear listeners. In this video, you'll find a detailed summary of one of the most influential works in world literature, Don Quixote. Written in 1605 by Miguel de Cervantes, this masterpiece is not only a cornerstone of Spanish literature, but also of global literary history. You'll witness the journey of a man caught between madness and genius, who clings tightly to his dreams and battles against reality. If you're ready, let's begin this legendary journey against the windmills. In the region of La Mancha, Spain, there lives an elderly, modest nobleman named Alonso Quijano. He spends his days reading chivalric romances. Over time, the line between reality and fiction begins to blur, and he starts to believe he is a wandering knight. He takes on the name Don Quixote de la Mancha. He assembles an old suit of armor, turns a barber's basin into a helmet, and names his frail and aging horse Rocinante. As any proper knight needs a lady to serve, he imagines a noble love named Dulcinea del Toboso, who in truth is just a simple peasant woman named Aldonza from a nearby village. Knowing that a knight cannot journey alone, Don Quixote recruits a squire, a farmer named Sancho Panza from his village. He promises Sancho that he will rule an island as a reward for his service. With this dream in mind, Sancho joins him, and the two set off on a heartfelt but delusional journey. Sancho is the complete opposite of Don Quixote, down-to-earth, practical, and uneducated. While Don Quixote is driven by ideals, Sancho relies on common sense. Their contrast brings both humor and depth to the story. Their first major adventure is one of the novel's most iconic scenes. Don Quixote mistakes windmills for giants and charges at them. The rotating blades seem like giant arms ready to attack. Sancho tries to warn him, but Don Quixote insists that an evil enchanter turned the giants into windmills. This moment is not only comedic, but also symbolic, a clash between dreams and reality. As Don Quixote battles the windmills, he is really fighting to hold on to his dreams. In another adventure, Don Quixote and Sancho encounter a group of prisoners being sent to the royal galleys. Believing it unjust, Don Quixote attacks the guards and frees the prisoners. However, instead of showing gratitude, the convicts turn on him and steal their belongings. This episode reveals the consequences of acting on idealism without understanding reality. Later, Don Quixote and Sancho are invited to the castle of a duke and duchess. These nobles, amused by Don Quixote's madness, set up elaborate pranks to fuel his fantasies. They even give Sancho a fake island to govern. Surprisingly, Sancho proves to be a fair and wise ruler. His judgments impress everyone and show that wisdom can come from humble origins. These scenes serve as Cervantes' satire on both nobility and society's tendency to mock what it doesn't understand. In another striking episode, Don Quixote encounters a caged lion and demands the cage be opened so he can prove his bravery. The lion, however, does not attack. It simply turns away. Don Quixote sees this as a victory and declares himself the Knight of the Lions. This moment marks a spiritual turning point. Perhaps he is not just dreaming, but also evolving. At first, Sancho is a simple man who mostly thinks of food and comfort, but throughout the journey, he grows. As a governor, he demonstrates fairness and intelligence. His exposure to Don Quixote's world begins to change him. However, when he realizes the governorship was a hoax, he is heartbroken, mirroring Don Quixote's own emotional decline. In the second part of the novel, Cervantes introduces a revolutionary literary technique. The characters are aware that the first part of Don Quixote's story has been published. They even reference a fake sequel written by another author. This self-referential twist makes Cervantes a pioneer of metafiction, and Don Quixote becomes one of the first literary characters to be conscious of his fame. Eventually, Don Quixote and Sancho return home. Don Quixote, now old, tired, and ill, abandons his dreams. He acknowledges that he is Alonso Quijano once again. Don Quixote is no more. Reality triumphs, but at a cost. His death is not just the end of a man, but the end of a dream. Don Quixote is not merely the story of a madman. It is the story of those who fight for their ideals, even if the world mocks them. On the thin line between imagination and reality, Cervantes asks us, who is truly mad? The one who dreams, or the one who never dreams at all? Don Quixote may have lost the battle with the windmills, but he never lost his spirit. And for that reason, his story continues to live on in the hearts of readers for centuries. Thank you for joining us on this long journey. If this summary inspired you, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next summary.